Hey, Ken, so you know that I am a big component when it comes to sending regular email on a daily basis. And oftentimes you can get tricked out, depending on who you're listening to. You can get fooled by someone saying, hey, look, sending an email every day is bad for your list. People are going to unsubscribe. People are going to complain, right? Your spam rate's going to go up. Gmail's not going to deliver your emails into your inbox. They're going to go into the promo tab, the spam folder, all of the crap that you hear out there. I've been sending a daily email every day for at least the last decade. And when I don't, right, or when I see my clients that don't, they send an email maybe once a month, or maybe they send an email once every 10 days, it kind of hurts them. So I wanted to kind of prove this. And there's going to be some people who say, well, listen, there's always this, that, and that, right? You're not the individual I'm talking to. I'm talking to the individual that's looking to make more sales, get more deliverability, uh, inbox rates that are increased, and just overall keep their customers and their readers and their clients happy. So I went over to Gmail, right? Or Google, I should say, and I just typed in, can sending email daily help with your deliverability? And after we get past the sponsored results, take a look at this. So this comes from Search Labs. Yes, sending emails daily, particularly if done thoughtfully, that's the key right there. You have to do it the right way. Can actually improve your email deliverability, right? However, it's not just about the volume of emails sent, but also how you send them and the overall quality of your email marketing practices. So just common sense here, right? So some of the things that they go into is mimicking human behavior, right? Sending an email as you would to a friend. And of course, you can have a link in it if you want to, but you just don't go crazy with your links. And just optimizing for engagement. And that's basically in your email. Hey, look, if you've got value out of this, send a reply back. Let me know what your thoughts are. Or, hey, look, please, if you saw this email go into your spam folder, move it over into your inbox. Or star this email if you have Gmail, right? So just optimizing for engagement. You're looking for the receiver to take an action. And of course, that action is going to be first opening, then second, clicking a link if you have a link in there, right? And then optionally, you want them to reply because that looks like a natural correspondence between individuals. So hopefully that makes sense. So then I go over to ChatGPT and I ask ChatGPT the same question. So does sending email every day help to improve your email deliverability versus only sending once a week or month? Now, ChatGPT goes into a little bit more detail and it gives you some of the pros and cons, right? So, yeah, sending emails more frequently, such as daily or multiple times per week, can significantly help improve your email deliverability, especially if done strategically. And then it goes into the why, as well as more consistently. So, it doesn't have to always be daily, but you want to at least have a schedule, right? So, it increases positive engagement signals. Now, this has always been the case. It's been the case since I first started emailing a long time ago, and it's been the case over the last couple of months, the last couple of years, and it will be the case moving forward, right? They like to see that consistency. So it increases positive engagement signals. Inbox providers like Gmail, which is the biggest one, right? Because most of the people that are on your list are going to have a Gmail. You probably have a Gmail, right? It tracks opens, replies, click stars, forwards, and not spam and not spam actions. So if you send daily and people are opening, they're clicking, they're marking it as not spam. And by the way, I want to take a little break here. If you're getting email from me, let's work together. Please mark my emails as not spam if they go into the spam folder. All right, if you could just do that for me. Also, star my email. So in Gmail, you'll see like a little star by each email. If you star that, or if you forward it, you can just forward it back to me, or you can reply, or you can click on the link. That helps to tell Gmail or any email service provider that these are good emails. All right. So if you guys help me out with that, or if you help me with that, and I'll help you with the same in return if I ever get an email from you. Right. So sending once a week or a month doesn't build that reputation quickly enough. So here, if you're not sending frequently enough, and again, this is where you have to be very careful with who you're listening to, right? Be very careful. I've sent millions and millions and millions of emails, right? So, and I've spent freaking lots of money hiring the best of the best of the best when it comes to email deliverability, and people that have also sent millions and tens of millions and hundreds of millions of emails. So be careful who you're listening to. You might have someone who comes in and they send, 10,000 emails and they become the expert. So you got to be very careful with, who you're listening to. So sending once a week, and it's easy to get flagged as stale or spam if users forget who you are. This is one of the biggest things that I found out really early is if you don't email often enough, people kind of forget. Like there's no loyalty. So people will forget who your name is. So in marketing, there used to be this saying that before someone takes an action, they have to see you or your brand 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times before they actually take a positive action. Now, with all of the stimulus and all of the distractions, people actually have to see your name dozens of times before most, not all, but before most will take an action, right? The second reason why you want to send more often is it helps warm up and maintain sender reputation. So domains and IPs, net domain meaning your URL, your website address, right? So kindlecashflow.com, and IPs meaning the social security number that's attached to that sending domain. Naturally cool down when used regularly. So again, it's like a muscle, right? It atrophies if not used regularly. And when you email daily to engage users, people that are opening, clicking, replying, starring, marking your emails as not spam, you're keeping your sender score high. And that's what Google, and that's what Yahoo, and that's what Hotmail and Outlook, that's what they love. So emailing rarely, not often, like monthly or every couple of weeks, often leads to sudden spikes, which looks like spam blast to Gmail and can hurt deliverability. This is key right here. If you are watching this and taking notes, this is key. You don't want to look like you just, boom, you just mail every so often. So now it looks like there's no consistency. There's no regular flow. So now you get these blasts. And what happens is Gmail says, okay, well, wow, there's something off here, right? So you want to have consistency. Number 3, it trains spam filters to trust you. Consistency, there's that word again, gives machine learning filters the patterns they need to classify your email as wanted. If your emails have consistent from names, domains, formatting, this is a whole nother thing. Making sure like your DKIM settings are correct, making sure that your DMARC settings are correct. I could do a training on this if you guys are interested, let me know. But this is something that you want to make sure that you have 100% correct, right? Your from email address, your reply email address, making sure that you've got the platforms that you're sending set up correctly. You've got all of your DNS records set up correctly, right? So again, being very careful with who you listen to, because there's a lot of people that may not know that what happens on the below the surface is just as important as what happens above ground. All right, so get consistent engagement. It trains these spam filters to trust you. Then you're training Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo to expect and allow your emails in the inbox. So caveats: don't just go crazy and start spamming people. You warm yourself up, right? You do this. If you send daily, but your open rates drop, this is why it's important to go into something like Google Postmaster, or if you're using like the AMS system, the automatic marketing system. What is really cool now is with the AMS system, and you can go get a free trial at kindlecashflow.com. I think it's /AMS. Or if you comment AMS, I'll send you a link. Now they'll warm up your sending domains and your IPs. So you can gradually increase your open rates, right? And decrease your unsubscribe rates and decrease your complaint rates, your spam rates, right? So, because all of this stuff can hurt. So instead, you send daily to a highly engaged segment. You want to make sure that you're always pruning your list, cleaning your list, right? Making sure that you have them tagged between highly engaged, moderately engaged, and then not engaged, right? So like your highly engaged could be people that have opened, clicked, responded, replied, purchased something from you within a certain day or a certain period. So it could be, within the last 30 days if you want to be really strict, within the last 90 days if you want to be a little bit more lenient, right? And then you're moderately, engaged could be for people that have not, they've opened or they've clicked within like the last 60 to 90 or 60 to 120. Right. So it's kind of vary depending on your sending practices and where you're at. But again, this is all stuff that I can create another video on if you guys are interested, because it gets really deep. It's something that I'm really passionate about and just understanding. So instead, send daily to a highly engaged segment with value-driven, clean, compliant content. That does not mean that you can't market your stuff, that you can't include links and things like that, right? One of the keys also is not to have a ton of links and making sure that you don't have a lot of links in there. If you want, 2 or 3 links is fine, but you don't want to have 6, 7, 8, right? And gradually expand volume from there. So you're slowly scaling up. So ideally, the ideal strategy for daily sending, segment by engagement, send daily to openers, your clickers. These are the highly engaged people that I was just talking about. Use a plain text format doing warm-ups. So you can even use like a plain text link. So using hyperlinks is really bad. So you don't want to hyperlink things, especially when you're just starting out. You got a new domain name, new IP address. Ask for replies occasionally. So at the bottom of your email, sometimes what you'll see when you get an email from me, you'll see, hey, John, if you like this, just reply back and let me know. What was your biggest takeaway from this email, right? Rotate your call to action types to avoid spam filter patterns. So again, it could be click this link, it could be reply, it could be whatever, right? Your CTAs, whatever the action is that you want that recipient of your email to take. And then never force volume. So you send to people who actually want it. You don't send to unsubscribes. That's against the law to do that. And you're just being compliant in the way that you're doing it. So bottom line, sending daily or very consistently helps build your domain, meaning your website address, your IP trust, and maintain high engagement, and unlock inbox placement, meaning getting you into the inbox and out of the spam folders, right? But only if done with strategy. So let me know if you want to. And then ChatGPT says, hey, here's how I'm going to send. Here's how we can send out. So you can go in, you can use ChatGPT to help you to get better at this stuff and understand it. And I think that if you are someone who has anything for sale and you're sending emails, you want to make this a priority. Because think about it. If you send 100 emails and only 5 of them go into the inbox and 95 go into your spam folder, that's 95 people who potentially won't see the offer that you have, right? So that's why you want to take this stuff seriously and be very careful with who you get advice from. All right, so if you got value out of this, let me know. Hopefully this has taught you something. If you want to learn how I really crush it with like digital publishing, Kindle books and courses and just everything, mentorship programs, coaching programs, challenges, workshops, just comment the word digital and I will send you a link to one of my best resources that'll help you to get more proficient when it comes to digital publishing and digital marketing. All right. From now on, stay well, comment on this so that whichever platform you're seeing this video on, they know that it's value. So keep that in mind. Like all of these platforms, they want to, like, their number one goal is to make sure that the person that's consuming it is getting value. So if you can craft your content, whether that's an email or whether it's a video, like in this case, so that the receiver, the person that's watching it or getting it, feels like they got value out of it, and then they'll take an action, then that platform will then go in and reward you as the creator of that content by showing it to more people. So with that said, I ask you to help me out and make sure that you go in and you like this video or you comment or you forward it to someone, you engage with it in some way, because that will let this platform know that this is something that other people should see as well. All right, there you go. Stay well and make sure that you comment digital, and I'll send you the link to that resource.